Please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Let's go. What up, party people? It is Thursday. And listen, I'm just going to give you a little insight of what my morning typically looks like, especially in playoff season, right? And get up in the first 25 minutes is pretty tough. It's tough to get the ball moving a little bit, especially because I'm immediately putting out content in my brain. It's just not there yet, right? Today was even harder because we consumed a lot of basketball. My adrenaline was pumping at 1 in the morning as those games wrapped up. So I just want you to know before we get started, I'm already 3 cups of coffee in. All right. We've already put out 6 videos. I recorded another short that Veronica's going to spin out. This is going to get wild. This is going to be a wild hour, or you're going to see me have a heart attack on camera. Who do we have here this morning? Snoop's up in the house. We got Snoopaloop. Snoopaloop, I feel you, dude. It's I'm going to sit this one out as a Bucks fan. Martins is here. Federico, airplane mode. Look at Jimmy Peacock. Was a witness last night. That's awesome that you were able to go to that game, man. Stubbs is here. We got 3DH. Good morning. This is the Bing Bong Boys. Who else we got? We the People. Stan Loves and Veronica both here getting their dubs in. Common Man. We got Aaron Borland's in the house. Who else we got here? Who else? Shiggins. DJ Local Homies is here. Cameron Quinlan. Good morning. Boston Base predicted all of this. Fenny's up in here. John Dubb. Wow. John Dubb coming out of the retirement, John Dubb. I feel like we haven't seen you in a while. Borland's up in here. Who else? Homies. Andre, let's go. Chicken Frig. Mike's in the house. Good to see everybody. And listen, we are going to give Miami all the flowers in the world. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Joe's here. J-Fog. We're going to give them all the flowers in the world. But we've been doing a lot of that for the giveaways. The Knicks clinched, all right? So like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Bing Bong. Throw that into the chat. That will be the giveaway for today. We'll give some New York a little bit of love. But I'm going to tell you right now, New York is not front billing, all right? New York, in what happened last night, New York is probably the MC. They hosted the show, and then they introduced John LeBron as the first comic that you saw. And the second one was probably Sacramento and Golden State. And then everybody's just shut up, because now it's time for the headliner, which is Miami and Milwaukee. And that's where we're going to start today. It was incredible. I still can't believe we saw what we saw last night. That was just awesome basketball. We'll dive in here in a second. A real quick shout out to everybody who hung out with us. In playback. We had a little 89 Cavs action early for the early games, and Weisberg carried the torch for us after we dipped. So make sure you're, hanging out with us on playback. We've been having a lot of fun. I'm going to do one other thing too. We got to do some housekeeping before I just get into it. All right. I know I'm all hopped up on caffeine, but I gotta make sure I do my business. I'm going to drop a link into the chat. A lot of you have already done this yet. If you have not subscribed, I just pinned it too. If you've not subscribed to our new YouTube channel, we got a fun video coming out probably next week. So go subscribe to that so we can pump those numbers. And then for content wise, listen, this is it this morning. Okay. I got to refuel. Today. So this should be the only thing outside of some shorts. And then we'll be back tomorrow with the NBA bit. There's only one game tomorrow, so we'll be talking Celtics and Hawks. And then our guy, 90s fan, who's going to be doing some NFL all-day draft coverage. He is going to give away an all-day pack. He's going to come on tomorrow morning to give away some stuff. So we'll do a little palate cleanser before we officially dive in to round 2. which is going to tip off. I'm sorry, excuse me. We're not kicking shit. It's going to tip off on Saturday, which will be fun. I think Saturday, right? Or maybe Sunday. I don't know. Jimmy Butler will let us know. Mike says, is this the biggest choke by a number one seed in recent history? Uh, yeah, I guess. Well, all right. So let's dive in. So Miami, obviously, Miami gets the W, right? Final score, they go to overtime, 128, 126. Let me hit you with the stats, and then we'll get into some of the gameplay. You know what? We don't talk about Mr. Banana Republic too much, okay? We don't talk about Banana Republic. The graybeard, K-Love himself, who went for 15 and 12 last night. He had some pretty timely threes. All of his buckets came from threes. He went 5 for 11 from three-point land. Jimmy Butler, Jesus, 42 and 8 with 4 dimes as well. Bam gave him a 20, 10, and 10. We get a triple-double from Bam, and I want to say Bam should have had like 40 points, it felt like. The touch, and I don't want to dunk on Bam because he had a triple-double last night, but it just had a tough time finishing. The touch is just a little off. A lot of back rim action. Gabe Vincent too. He went took a lot of shots. Took 23 shots, 12 threes, but he had 22 and 6. Struce had an 8 and 8, and then they got the only double figures off the bench was Kyle Lowry, who Kyle Lowry did his follow out stuff. Giannis, man, I'll be honest. I knew Giannis was having a great game. I did not realize how big these numbers were. He went for 38 and 20, but the real difference here, he had 7 turnovers, not great, Bob. He took 23 free throws last night and hit less than 50% of them. He went 10 for 23. That's a 13-point swing coming from the free throw line, and that is tough. That is tough. Chris Middleton was on fire. 33 and 6 last night. Mike says back rim action sounds wrong. That's on you, Mike, all right? Because I think we should be talking more about that. But anyways, yeah, Middleton was on fire. 33, 10 for 24 from the field, 9 for 9 from the line. They got 18 and 10 from Brolo, and that's really it. Drew Holiday, 16, 9, and 6. Not really a great Drew game. And man, yes, Veronica too. Yeah, I should take a little bit of that back. Supposedly Bam's playing through an injury. I did read something a little bit about that as well. Let's do I know the people are asking for it. The people are asking for it, and honestly, they've earned it. We do need, like, the Heat have moved on, right? And it's criminal that our man, our love, Tyler Hero has a broken arm, but we'll give him the drop. So one of the things that I noticed while watching, you know what? Before we go big brain, let's talk a little bit about down the stretch here. So a couple of things happen. Heat are down 2. There's like 2 seconds left, I think. And a couple of weird stuff. Like, so they sub out Brook Lopez. And I think they did this because they took Bam out of the game. They surrounded them by shooters, right? So there's shooters everywhere. They're like, all right, we need to get Brolo out so we can get another small defender in here to stay with the shooters. Because I don't know, maybe Milwaukee was looking at the landscape, right? And they're like, Miami has a chance to steal game 5 on the road. Their second road W. You don't want to play for overtime. You play for the W, right? That's old coach speak, right? On the road, you don't play for overtime. You play for the win. At home, you play for overtime. Well, Miami sees this sub, and then Gabe Vincent throws like a rainbow lob over Pat Connie's head, and I forget who the other defender was there. It might have been Drew. Jimmy gets one hand on it, puts it up. I know Jack Settleman put out a video that like Jimmy pushes off of Pat Connaughton. Whatever, they're not going to call that. Jimmy palms it in, ties the game, and then yes, we can dunk on Budenholzer for that substitution. That was pretty tough. Also, I've never seen Giannis defend the inbound pass before. Holy crap. That is like Gabe Vincent was kind of like moving people behind him, being like, I need space so I can get it up over him. But incredible tip in by Jimmy, who I just play after play after play. It was incredible. And then again, I guess maybe if you want to redo this, maybe you put Brolo on the inbound, put Giannis down low. He's a little bit, I don't know. Either way, they go to overtime. And then one of the dumbest things that happened, 0.5 left, right? And like we all know, we've heard every announcer say it, right? 0.3 is a catch and shoot. If you have 0.3, you can catch and get it up. So 0.5, you're not getting a dribble down, but you can run a play, run a set. They had a timeout. How do you not call timeout? It just felt like throughout this entire down the stretch, they were like a step behind. What are you saving that timeout for? I mean, you're saving it for that moment. That's why you have that timeout. And they don't use it. They just inbound it. They don't get a shot off. We go to overtime. And then in overtime, Trade Buck, like the Heat get up 5 at one point with just a couple of, I don't know, maybe it was 2 minutes left, a couple of different moments. So Giannis misses a bunch of free throws at the line. And then let's get to the last play. So there's a few seconds left. Heat are up 2 now. So I believe it's 128, 126. And man, so Giannis has the ball around the angle at the three-point line, hands it off to Middleton, who then with 1.4 left, I think they give it to Grayson Allen, and Grayson Allen doesn't get a shot off. He goes for the drive, clearly lets it go after the buzzer goes off, and it's so easy for us to dunk on Grayson Allen, right? It's very easy to make fun of Grayson Allen. He went to Duke. He's a piece of shit. He does a lot of dirty stuff, right? This was not on Grayson Allen. I mean, even Grayson Allen was like, wait a minute, why is the ball in my hands? Grayson Allen is their 5th option. You got Brolo who could get a shot off from anywhere. Middleton, who was on fire. Giannis, who no one can stay in front of. Drew Holiday. Somehow Grayson Allen ends up with the ball with a second and a half left. And it wasn't like a De'Aaron Fox to Harrison Barnes situation. It was like Grayson Allen was sitting there wide open. It was like nobody wanted the ball. It was hot potato there. I wonder too. So anyways, he get the W, 128, 126. I wonder, if we're just going to learn a little bit more about how hurt Giannis was, right? And that Giannis was playing through some serious pain. There was a couple of times he went down and got fouled, and you could just feel it. He looked rough. Jay Bourne in the chat said, I apologize for my lack of faith in the Heat. Even a bad basketball team can beat Bud. It's true. Nick Nurse for Bud. Yeah, I don't think it can't be an official trade because Nick Nurse has been fired. But man, I mean, Miami Heat, they are the 6th team in NBA history to be the 8th seed and upset the 1 seed, right? I think we talked about it yesterday a little bit, but it happened in 94 with Dikembe Mutombo holding the ball as the Denver Nuggets beat the Seattle Supersonics. Had the 1999 Knicks who upset the Miami Heat, little second round preview. Then they went all the way to the finals and lost to the Spurs. What did you have? 2007, the We Believe Warriors, right? Where they took down the number 1 seeded Dirk and the Dallas Mavericks. Then after 2007, what was it? 2011, the grit and grind Grizz, baby. Memphis took down San Antonio Spurs. And then the year after 2012, Derrick Rose blows out his knee and the Philadelphia 76ers, led by superstar Andre Iguodala, upset him. The one fun thing that I learned today, only the New York Knicks in 99 were a team to advance past the second round. And so this game sets up here we've got Miami and New York, who we'll talk about the Bing Bong boys here in a second, which just a reminder, like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Bing Bong. That sets up for our second round matchup, which will start up on Sunday, which is going to be spicy, man. I'm excited. It's going to be just a gross ass game, a gross ass series, it's going to be fun though. And a couple of things I want to shout out to. Giannis had, I'm sure a lot of people have seen it so far. I shared the clip on Twitter as well. Giannis had an incredible quote after the game. There was a conversation. I mean, a question that was asked by a reporter, Eric Neems, I think his name is, do you consider this season a failure? And he went on this 2-minute, not rant, but a just 2-minute dialogue about how it's part of the process and steps. It's not a failure. It was just a really good quote. It just reminded me, man, I love Giannis so much. He's got to be one of the best approval ratings in the league. I don't know if anybody, I know you guys have seen me lose my shit about stuff that doesn't matter. If somebody asked me that question right after, obviously being disappointed, upset, and hurt, and probably he wants his coach gone. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he likes Bud, but yeah, I definitely would not have kept myself. Yeah, Patrick saying so composed. I would not have been. I would have just been honestly, this dude, suck it. Something like that would have happened. So shout out Giannis. I'm fascinated with what they're going to do in the offseason. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but they're old, man. They got a lot of old dudes around them. It's Jay Crowder. It's Joe Ingles. It's Pat Connaughton's one of their young guys, but it's a lot of older dudes. And I don't know where you go from here. And maybe you can just say, hey, listen, the matchup was bad. We got a little unlucky with the Giannis injury. We dropped game 1. Things got weird. We saw an unbelievable performance with Jimmy Butler. Chalk it up hey, we're the best team in the league with the best player in the league all season long. We got unlucky, right? Maybe. But the other thing that we can point out is that wings historically is tough. The last season and a half have lit up the Bucks. I mean, we saw it happen with Jimmy Butler just now, but every time the Celtics play the Bucks, we see it where Tatum and Brown just cook them. And a part of that has to do with the way that roster is constructed. So they're going to have to make some changes. Yeah, people are asking, do they re-sign Middleton? I don't know. I'll be fascinated to see the direction. We know they've got new ownership in Milwaukee too. And anytime a new owner comes in, we saw what Phoenix did. They're like, give me Kevin Durant. So maybe they do it. Maybe they just get rid of Bud and run it back. Maybe it's some of the ancillary pieces, or maybe they say, hey, this core isn't working. We got a chip. We did it, but everybody else is getting better around us. It's time to move on. But man, and then Miami, dude. Miami just, I still can't get over it. In 5, too. This wasn't even like a 7-game series. This was a domination by the Miami Heat. They lost game 2 on the road, and that was it. And they did it without their second best player. And we pointed this out yesterday. You look at those rosters, man. I mean, obviously you're taking you're taking Giannis 1, you're taking Jimmy Butler 2, right? And whatever. You could say 1A, 1B if you want to be generous. Giannis and then Jimmy. And then after that, I'm taking Drew and Middleton before I'm taking Bam. Maybe Bam next. Maybe Bam after that. And then Brook Lopez. And then who? I mean, like, how many Heat players you take? It's Max Strus is out there. Gabe Vincent is out there. Banana Republic is. Duncan Robinson is out there. Highsmith is out there. We saw Cody Zeller playing big time minutes in overtime. I mean, I know it's because of a foul up, but like, holy hell. How you like that is a disappointment. That is a disappointment. But man, Bobby's saying Miami beat the Bucks with 7 undrafted guys in the rotation. Unreal. The other thing I wanted to point out too, I wonder if Stan, let's do this first. Jimmy trash talking Drew down the stretch was incredible. Because Drew is also like another guy that's pretty well liked. He's like universally the best guard, like known as the best guard defender in the league. And Jimmy, not only did Jimmy own him, but Jimmy like let him know that whole time. And they were just jawing and jawing. I think a regular season game, they probably get double teched. And they were like, nah, just like let this happen. And I mean, he just kept hitting him over the head with it. It was great. And oh God, it made me like, it's not like I was very pro Jimmy or very anti Jimmy. I was like, yeah, Jimmy's great. When he plays in the playoffs, he's incredible. Like I felt that way. I'm straight up rooting for Jimmy Butler right now. It's hard not to. But the other thing I wanted to point out, and I don't know if you guys felt this way watching the end of game, like the fourth quarter in game 5, right? So I'm sorry if my Wi-Fi is getting a little funky. Hopefully it's not too bad. Let me just make sure. Sorry. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys noticed this, but so Milwaukee gets a nice little cushion there. I think they made it, I want to say it was like 103.97, something, 103, like 86. I don't know. They had a nice like 14-point cushion, 12-point cushion at one point. And I think like when somebody has gone through this thing before, right? There's just kind of in the back of your minds, right? Like, because it was in the back of my mind, like, yeah, they're down 12, but we've already seen Milwaukee melt in the fourth quarter with Miami just bringing the intensity and stealing a W. And if I'm thinking that, and I imagine a lot of you were thinking that, you also know Milwaukee knows that, and Miami knows that. And it's this like mental advantage that I think was happening where at no point they're like, yeah, we're down 12. Seen this team falter before. And the second it got to like 6, I was like, Milwaukee's got this. It's in their head now. Now it's like a 1-possession game. And everybody, even though you could feel it in the stands, you could feel it in Milwaukee. They were like, oh my God, not again, not again. And I don't know, maybe I'm just so aware of this being a Red Sox fan growing up in the 90s pre us winning chips. But like every time we got into the playoffs, and we could have a 5-run lead and they get a single and we're like, oh shit, it's happening. It's happening. And I think, I don't know. I see Snoopaloop's still here. Snoopaloop, did you feel that? He was saying that was just a terrible 10-day stretch for the Bucks, an incredibly 10-day stretch for the Heat. Yeah. It was the best of the best for them and the worst of the worst. And yeah, that's back to the wing thing, right? They literally do not have anyone that can guard those wings. Yeah. They were up 16. All right. Thank you, Andre. Why no one else get a chance to guard Jimmy? He cooked Drew all series. I mean, what are the other options, though, Tesla? You can't put Middleton on him. I mean, I guess you could put Giannis on him, and they did. Giannis was switched onto him a handful of times, too, and he still went at him. So and that's what I mean about that roster construction. They have nobody that can guard wings. Jay Crowder is cooked. Joe Ingles is cooked. Those dudes are just played off the court. They just had nobody. Incredible stuff though, man. Shout out Miami. Shout out Miami. That was fun. Jimmy was rested till the 7-minute mark in the fourth. They gave up and the Bucks choked hard. The Heat coach put Jimmy in. Yeah. It was yeah. I mean, dude, shout out Jimmy Buckets, baby. Shout out Big Face Coffee. Where's the hat? Where's the hat, baby? Yeah, let's get this hat on. Shout out Big Face Coffee, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jimmy Buckets. Top Shot was going back to the cover thing. Just a different look. He was too comfortable all series and no doubles. Yeah. How big of a hit did your underdog lineup take last night? Boston base? Well, I'll talk more about it here towards the end. I have 56 lineups in first place right now. This is insane. Which means that's over a third of my lineups are not guaranteed, but are projected to go through, with like another 15 having a shot at it, which is crazy. You're rooting for like 16%, 18%. Crowder was a DNP last game in 18 seconds in this one. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I know the Bucks will get hammered for that, but they didn't give up too much for Jay Crowder. It's hilarious that Jay Crowder was like holding out because he wanted to start, and then he goes to Milwaukee and he doesn't even see the court. Yeah. Anyways, this was great, man. Good, like great basketball. And if you're a Milwaukee fan, it's not great. Obviously, if you're a Miami guy, you're flying high. You don't see stuff like that often. Not in the first round. That's what's crazy. The first round of it is wild to see this happening. And now it sets up. Let's go to the Bing Bong boys, which just a reminder, like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Bing Bong. Knicks just dominated the Cavs, man. Cavs suck. I mean, they don't suck, but they're not good. They're not good. They're not a real team. They were a regular season Cavs. That's what it should have been. The final score, 106-95, never felt that close, right? Knicks stepped on their throat in the first quarter, going up 7. They had a 10-point lead at halftime, a 12-point lead going into the fourth. Finish up 11. Julius Randle, though, that injury, I haven't seen like official word on that. Jay Randle left the game, I think late in the second quarter or early in the third quarter. I can't remember. He's gone. And Julius Randle's got weird energy, man. He was like sitting away from the team, just kind of on his phone in the second half. Maybe he was just like, that's a wrap. Anyways, we'll have to see what that injury looks like. Mitchell Robinson is the best big of all time. That's what we learned. Mitchell Robinson went for 13 points, 18 boards, 3 blocks, 2 steals, and a partridge in a pear tree. But just like dominated the bigs. Jay Brunson at 23 and 4. RJ gave him another 21, 4 and 4. RJ, unsung hero, right? He had 2 really bad games. The first 2 games in Cleveland was MIA, came to life in MSG, and maybe you were just like, whatever, he could only do it at home. You know what, though? He did it on the road in a closeout game, too, scoring over 20. That's a good sign. Obi Toppin went for 12 in limited minutes after coming in, and then we finally got some IQ production, who's been kind of bad. He had 19. Donovan Mitchell, 11 for 26, 3 from 12 from 3. He had 28.7 boards, 5 assists on like 40% shooting and like 12% from the field. Garland had 21 and 4, only took 13 shots, hit 7 of them, but missed. All 7 of his misses came from behind the arc. I'm sorry, 5 of his misses came behind the arc. Sorry. Karis LeVert was 17. Mobley, 6 and 9. Nice. Jared Allen, 4 and 4. They got 10 points from Okoro off the bench. I mean, like, listen to this bench. Danny Green, Lamar Stevens, Chetty Osman, and Okoro. Those are the guys that got minutes. So listen, I gotta take a little bit of an L here. I thought the series was a coin flip. I thought that the Knicks and Cavs was pretty much dead even, and I thought that with Cleveland's home court, that was the adage. I thought Donovan would probably be the best player in the series, even though you know how I feel about Donovan. I thought he'd be the best player in the series. And I thought home court advantage would make up for the lack of depth for Cleveland. And New York, man, New York was just tougher. They were tougher defensively. They were tougher to guard. They had different guys step up. And you know what? No one even played out of their ass for New York. That's the other thing. It's not like, holy crap, we got 50-point games from Jalen Brunson. Julius Randle had their second best player was non-existent and then got hurt in Julius Randle. They lost Quentin Grimes. Jalen Brunson, I think, only got over 31 one time. And Stan saying I thought the Cavs had the better starting roster. Yeah, I thought their starting 5 would outperform the Knicks. And again, if you told me at the beginning of the series, hey, Knicks win in 7, I would have been like, yeah, okay. I thought it was going to be Knicks in 7, Cavs in 6, Cavs in 7. Like it'd be one of those three. And for Snoop Loop saying the hate on Chetty, I mean, listen, you could have used a Chetty, right? You could have used another wing, but yeah, I mean, Chetty was pretty bad. But yeah, I mean, the Knicks are just a better team, tougher team, but the better coach team for sure. I mean, Tibbs, for all the jokes that we make about Tibbs running his dudes into the ground. I mean, he coached circles around Bickerstaff. I don't did that entire series. I mean, it just felt like I guess their adjustment was like, I wonder if Danny Green's got anything left in the tank. I'll be curious how the Cavs front office handles this offseason, right? I don't know what kind of options they have. Sorry, did my audio just dip out? My bad. Um, yeah, that's so weird. Did that just happen? My bad, guys. I wonder if it's sometimes an ad reads. Well, I wonder if the ad starts reading when I have ESPN open, if that affects the audio. My bad. But yeah, I wonder what the Cavs do in the offseason. I'm not fully aware of like what their cap room is going to look like. They clearly have to find a fifth starter, right? I think if Karis LeVert is starting for you, that's pretty bad. They need someone who can wing defender. Like I think that if Okoro could turn into a 40% 3-point shooter, it'd be a different story, but he's not. So they need a new wing defender for sure, and they need to shore up that bench a little bit. But I'll be curious what they do with Bickerstaff. And I don't know. It's like I don't think it's fully his fault, but this is another example of Donovan, man. I don't know. I know I just like force victory laps, and I always do the comparison between Donovan and Jamal Murray. But even if you take away that my love for Jamal Murray and why I think Jamal Murray is a little bit better than Donovan, this was an opportunity for him to be like the guy, right? He's going to make an all NBA team this year, and rightfully so. It's a regular season award. He was incredible this regular season. When push come to shove, let me pull up Basketball Reference here because I'd like to see what his official lines were here in this series. But like when you see this, yeah, he's billed as the best guy in this series, right? I mean, listen, all love in the world of Jalen Brunson, but he was built as the best guy in this series, and we didn't see it. I mean, he was barely the best guy on his own team here. So let me pull this up here. So for this postseason with Cleveland, he averaged 23 points, 7 dimes, 5 boards. Okay. 4 turnovers a game. He shot, let's see what it is. 43% from the field, 28% from 3. You can't have that. You just can't have that. And then they also so you get that from Donovan. And I know we already talked about Mitchell Robinson, but I would have thought Mitchell Robinson was the 3rd best big on the floor. Like if you had to draft bigs, I would have gone Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson always has been an elite defender, but he always gets hurt and he always gets into foul trouble, right? A little Jaren Jackson Jr. light. And that wasn't the case. I mean, he was a monster. Let me pull up Mitch Rob's stats too. I should have had this already, but he was the best one. And if you were doing that draft, you would take him before Mobley and Allen. And Mobley, I think, is going to get a lot of fair criticism here about just being like he's still an incredible defender, but obviously just lacking so much on the offensive end. And that was just pointed out. That was pointed out time and time again in this postseason. All right, let me find Mitch Rob here. So Mitch Rob, this is his first postseason, right? He averaged 8 points and 10 boards. 8 points and 10 boards, over 2 blocks, and just over a steal a game. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. So shout out Mitch Rob, showing up. If Mobley can work on a 3, that will change a lot. It will. Also, Fernandez, you're finally here, dude. I just got done talking about your Knicks. Where you been, baby? But hey, listen, New York, I'm really happy for you. I know people, because I'm from Boston, we assume we hate everybody. This was exciting. This is exciting for New York. The city's excited. Just everybody feels like it's just sniffing cocaine and running around screaming "Bing Bong" throughout 7th Ave. I love it. I'm excited for this next round too, right? So Shiggins says nobody's really criticizing Garland, but he was an all-star too this year. Yeah, but I actually thought Garland was the best player on the Cavs this series. You're right. I mean, he did go down a little bit, but that first game, right? The ball was taken out of his hands. The first game, let's pull up Darius Garland. Sorry, I know I was a little all over the place here, but I was trying to pay attention to this. So if we look at this postseason, he averaged. All right, hold on. Sorry, Basketball Reference, the oldest website of all time. All right, here it is. All right, let's get to the postseason. All right, so in the first game, he took 13 shots, going 7 for 13 from the field. He had 7 for 30. Why is it not? It was 17 points. Second game, he shot 60% from 3, 8 for 17 from the field, 23 and 7. Then in the game 3, he had 21 and 4. 10. Yeah, you know what though? Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. What was I reading there? No, that was right. Yeah, he had a really bad game 3, and then 23. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Darius Garland should get a little bit more criticism. You're right. You're right. Anyways, wild times. Bing Bong boys, let it ride, let it rip. That sets up for round 2. Round 2, we start Sunday. We have Knicks and Heat. And a wild turn of events. The 4-seed New York Knicks in the second round of the playoffs will have home court advantage. It is going to be an ugly, like, late 90s series. Although, you know what? We say that Miami, I think, has had the second best or best offense this postseason, which is nuts. So who knows? Maybe that won't be the case. But I'm really excited for that series. If Quentin Grimes and Randall are both dinged up, that is a problem. However, I don't know who they're going to put on Jalen Brunson. Like, I don't know who the Brunson stopper is. You're not going to have, is Max Strus going to slow him down? Is Gabe Vincent going to slow him down? Is Kyle Lowry just going to try to break his arm? Like, what's the game plan there? On the other side of things, I don't know really who's slowing down Jimmy Butler either. Like, Jimmy Butler at Madison Square Garden should be wild. Going to be wild. Andre Stanton, are the Knicks going to have home court? Well, not if they play. No, they won't. I mean, unless Atlanta beats the Celtics and then beats the Sixers. But most likely they'll have home court advantage in this round, and then that'll be it. I can't imagine they have home court unless you really believe in Trae Young, which, God, that would just break my heart if Trae Young ripped something like that off. That would be terrible. I would hate that so much. I don't know. Who do you guys have? Who do you guys have in the second round? You taking Knicks or Heat? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Knicks or Heat? And then a reminder, like the stream, subscribe. Hashtag Bing Bong. And then we'll go into the Western Conference. I'm curious how people are feeling about this. Andre saying Knicks in 6. I've seen a lot of Knicks in 6. A lot of Knicks in 6. Paul's taking the Heat. Yeah, Snoop Loop's asking, is it RJ Barrett? Unless Quentin Grimes comes back. If Quentin Grimes comes back, could be that. Stan's calling for a Heat and Celtics rematch there in the Eastern Conference Finals. You better talk nice to me or don't talk at all. Listen, I've been really nice about the Knicks today. How do you bet against Jimmy? I mean, that is true. I don't know how you do it. Josh Hart and Grimes. Yeah, Hart on Jimmy, but I think I'm taking Butler in that matchup. That's 2 dogs. 2 dogs. Joel's taking the Heat. Eric's saying Knicks in 5. Also, Brunson just proved Trae is greater than Luka. I don't know how you come to this FB Music, but I like it. I like that insanity of that take. Although FB Music, you famously have wild takes. I don't see you often, but when you do, you fire a take. I love Jimmy, but Knicks in 6 because of D-Rose. Because of D-Rose. Yeah, we need to find out that Randall injury too. I mean, Randall being out, if the Knicks are missing 2 of their 5 starters, whew, it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. Fernandez says, when is the first fight? Yeah, we're definitely going to get some fight. Bam has to show up at some point. So this should be a good matchup for Bam. Bam has a little bit more of an offensive bag, even though I give him a tough time. He's more of a facilitator. He's going to have to draw. If he can hit that mid-range, like, free throw jumper, and it forces Mitchell Robinson out of the paint a little bit, I could see that being a problem for New York. But if Bam continues to have this weird touch that doesn't go down and allows Mitchell Robinson to plant himself, I don't know. That's going to be tough. That is going to be tough. If you follow conventional wisdom, Luka couldn't get it done with another All-Star and Kyrie. Yeah, but he did it last year. He went to the Western Conference Finals last year. Like, literally last year, they went to the Western Conference Finals. So I don't know. Oh, you mean Mitchell Chamberlain? Yeah, I've been calling him Ben Wallace. Regulator said Knicks Tibbs will make someone other than Jimmy beat him. Knicks in 6. Bam against Mid-Rob. Bam loses. I think that matchup's going to be fun. Why don't we do that? The key to the series. Bam Adebayo and Mitchell Robinson. There we go. That's a new segment for you. Fire that up, baby. Sponsor that shit. All right, let's do a little mental health check. Yeah, a little fire up a little mental health check. I'm sorry this didn't come with a hand job. I just don't think it's included in the airdrops. That's stylistically, that's tough to include that in an airdrop. All right, let's go over to the West Coast, best coast. No, I hate that. I don't live in the West Coast. I take that back. Strike that from the record. JK, LOL. All right, so let's do Lakers Memphis. I watched most of this game. I will say it was both exciting and frustrating having all of these games running simultaneously. I feel like I was watching most of Kings Warriors. And then when we get to the fourth quarter, I switched over. And then because of overtime, all of a sudden there was like 3 minutes left when not even, it was like 2 minutes left when I flipped back over to Warriors Kings and the game was over. So that kind of bummed me out a little bit. But let's do Memphis LA first. One of the things that we talked about yesterday, and also the mismatches pointed this out, Chris Verno has been talking about quite a bit, is, the longer this series goes on, a little feistier it's going to be for the Lakers because they got some older legs, right? You got LeBron, who's my age, out there logging massive minutes and then having to every other day play a game. And I think we saw that a little bit. And it might have been intentional too. Like maybe the Lakers, once it was halftime and the Grizzlies pushed the lead a little bit. Although the Lakers came out in the third quarter and immediately made it a game. But once it got out of hand, I think they were like, you know what? Doesn't matter. We take him at home. Desmond Bane and Ja Morant both went for 30 plus. AD showed back up again, which is funny, man. AD got a ton of shit in game 5 for not showing, or game 4 for not showing up, right? He was pretty bad, and they almost won in spite of him. AD was the only thing keeping them alive last night, and nobody's just kind of like, wow, thanks to AD for fighting along. But he was their best defender. I'm going to pull up the stats here on my phone so that way ESPN doesn't rug the audio. But real quick, we had LeBron with 15, 10, and 5 in 36 minutes. AD with 31 and 19, like I was saying, a couple blocks and a steal as well. What else we got here? Austin Reeves had 17. D'Lo had 11 and 10. So anyways, a lot of fun stuff on the Grizzlies side of things. Like we were saying, Bane 33 and 10, Ja 31, 10 and 7. This was like one of those cases where it just felt like the Grizz had their backs against the wall and the Lakers were like, hey, don't worry. We got to go back. You got to go back to LA anyways. LBJ unders were the bet last night. I know I actually faded. Anthony Davis was the only play that I had from the Lakers last night. I avoided most of the Lakers because I just thought, I was like, I don't know if there was ever a time that LeBron was going to slow it down, and take the foot off the gas, just save the legs a little bit. Save the legs a little bit. Anyways, all right, let's keep moving. LeBron looked tired, liking Memphis. Yeah. So, right. So moving forward, game 6 is Friday. And if you want to go, if you were a Lakers fan, you want to go glass half full as a Lakers fan. Here's the thing. You didn't need to win that game. You stole home court advantage. It's going back to the Lakers, to LA. You have a chance to close out. You have LeBron, you have AD. Memphis shot well from 3, which they've only done once this entire playoffs. There's no way they redo that again, right? If you're Memphis, you're like, these old are tired. And we got them. We're going to run. And so I don't know. I feel like this is still up for grabs. Obviously, Memphis has to win 2 games. Lakers have to win 1. But if somehow Memphis steals game 6, all of a sudden it's like, holy crap. Are LeBron and Anthony Davis going to blow a 3-1 lead on Ja Morant's one hand? Also, let's give Ja a little bit of credit here. Yeah, he's playing his wrist is out here just flopping. It feels like this guy. I'm trying to think of a good example. Don't do me like that. Okay, are we back? Sorry. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. We got finish. Am I back? Back in the New York groove. I just want to make sure I'm back here. Oh no. Somebody tell me in the chat, are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Baby. I think we're back. All right. Chat seems slow. Ja Morant's other hand is like Mike's Wi-Fi. There we go. I love that, John Dubs. That's a good comment. That scene from Harry Potter when Harry breaks his wrist. There you go. Just like Harry Potter. Lakers is going to be really tired moving forward. Golden State will have an easy series against them. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, they haven't got through yet. Would you rather have Ja or Fox in these playoffs? I mean, dude, shout out to De'Aaron Fox playing out. Let's just talk about that game now. Let's hashtag pivot. you know what? Golden State Warriors, a lot of people thought Sacramento wasn't for real and that Golden State was going to wash them. But there were a lot of people in the chat early on that was like Golden State in 6 or 7. And look, it's looking like that. And I was waiting for Golden State to win a road game, and they came in last night and they did that. They survived the first quarter where just a barrage of threes were coming, right? I think they went 8 for 12 in the first quarter in threes, and then they couldn't hit shit the rest of the game. And Sacramento kept fighting, though. I will say that, like, it felt like every time Golden State pulled away, Sacramento came flying back. But ultimately, Golden State gets their 12th road win of the year. They win 123-116. Let's hit them with it a little bit. Clay had 25. Felt like Clay was going to go for 50 for a little bit, and then it slowed down. Then Andrew Wiggins had 20. Kevin Looney, Kevon, 4 points, 22 boards. I think that's his second 20-board thing, 20 rebound performance, 7 dimes on top of it. Seth Curry's at home. Steph went for 31 and 8. Draymond continuing to come off the bench, which is just so annoying, but whatever. He had 21, 7, and 4 with 4 steals and a block on the Sacktown side of things. Shout out De'Aaron Fox, man. De'Aaron Fox, 24, 9, and 7 with a broken-ass finger. Sabonis had 21 and 10, and then now Monk gave him 21 off the bench, which was kind of wild because I think he had like 3 at halftime. You got Davion hit him with 10, but yeah, big W. People are asking, are we going to see another Beam, or is that it? I think the Beam's retired, baby. I don't see Sacramento. Like, Sacramento's been tough all year. They're a resilient team. I think they've played well on the road this year. They could have won game 4. They will be playing with a little bit more intensity. Like, this is a survival game for them. But I think Golden State wraps this up here. We've been talking about first round performances and a loss that was impressive. How about Fox? Yeah, I mean, De'Aaron's been awesome, man. Chickenfrick says, did not think the Kings would play as well as they have. Fox finger is a bummer. They could have pulled it off now for the injury. I have so much respect for De'Aaron Fox. I can't believe he went out there. I really did. I was like, that's sick that he is toughening out through this injury. I wonder how effective he's going to be. And then he came out. I think he knocked down 2 threes in the first quarter. He's doing a little bit of everything. So if you're Sacramento, man, you're going to be bummed. If you're a Kings fan, you're probably going to be bummed. You got Bandy sighting. I totally get it, but dude, shout out to like the Beam Boys, man. That is an incredible season. It's not over yet. They could go out there and win game 6. So you shouldn't write the eulogy, but they took the defending champions to a 6 game. And I mean, they easily could. I mean, as easily as the Warriors probably could have swept them game 1 and game 2 being so close. I mean, they almost stole game 4, almost went back to Sacramento up 3-1. A year of FB Music says a year or 2 ago, you were all saying they should have moved Fox over Halliburton. Yeah, I mean, you're right. If you thought Fox was going to turn into an all-NBA guard that whole time, you're right. You can take that W. I don't think anybody was saying that I don't think anybody was saying Fox was going to be a top 6 guard in the league this season. I think the bigger complaint was that they were like, you're trading this young guy who then put up 20 and like 12 this year. So what ended up happening, I mean, we should say what ended up happening is that Sabonis unlocked their offense in a way that nobody saw coming. I also think getting Mike Brown in there, getting some adults in the room was huge. Both teams ended up winning that trade. Which is pretty exciting. So shout out the Kings, but more importantly, now this is setting up for, I love this shit. This is setting up for either Steph Curry and the Warriors taking on LeBron and the Lakers. Steph, who Fox is a top guard, he struggled one season. Okay, yeah, he was a top guard. Hold on. We got to fucking relax. This is some like real revisionist history. If anybody is out there, show me the receipts. Show me the time that you thought, yeah, De'Aaron Fox is better than Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, I would take you would have taken De'Aaron Fox as a top 6 guard. Like, if we're picking all the guards in the league, De'Aaron Fox is your 6th pick. Is that what you were saying? I feel like I'm turning into a You sure about that? Are you sure about that? That's what this is turning into right now. That's bonkers if you were saying that. That's bonkers. Nobody was calling that. He's turned into a 3-point shooter, which he wasn't. And then he had the most clutch 4th quarter season we've ever seen from a player. Nobody was calling that. If you have any tweets of yours from 2 years ago that Fox was going to be that guy, send them my way. I'll happily resend that. That's nutso. Nobody thought that. Nobody was picking him 6th. Nobody was like, give me Steph, Give me Luca, De'Aaron Fox. Like, nobody was doing that. Nobody was doing that. Anyways, back to what I was saying before. Cocaine-fueled FB Music was putting chats out there. Lakers, the Warriors, who I made fun of for their road record and will continue to do. Yeah, they booted you off Twitter. That is the first thing you've said that checks out so far. They are now somehow in position. If Memphis can't rip off 2 wins, right? If the Lakers win one of the next 2 games, the Warriors are somehow getting home court advantage in the second round. This is turning into deja vu of last year's playoffs, where I'm just going to be gurgling L's because the Golden State Warriors are going to make another run to the Western Conference Finals and then take on either Denver or Phoenix. So either we're going to get, which is so spicy, because if the Grizzlies do win 2 games in a row, then you're getting this rivalry, hashtag is it a rivalry, of Warriors Grizzlies, which will be a lot of fun. So you're either getting that or you're getting LeBron versus Steph. And then either way, you're getting one of those teams versus Denver and Phoenix. And Denver and Phoenix round 2 matchup is going to be sex. I'm very excited about that one as well. And then on the East side, you got Knicks and Heat, one of them going to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then if the Celtics can get through Atlanta tonight, which they should, I swear to God, if we're doing a Boston Game 7 this weekend, we're going to get some Happy Gilmore energy up in here. Then we'll get Boston-Philly, which is going to be a fun round 2 as well. This is exciting, man. It's just shaping up nice. And this is crazy that it's only round 1. That's what's wild about all of this. That's what's wild with all of it. So FB says my takes are too bad, but we're listening to Mike with streams of pure nonsense. Stop it. There we go, FB Music. Yeah, FB Music, and so are you. So thanks for being here today. Oh, so tonight we get Celtics Hawks. We're not going to preview that. I don't want to talk about it. Let's go. Like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag Bing Bong into the chat. We'll give away a little Top Shot or So Rare related moment here in a little bit. As I mentioned, right, we got over 50 lineups so far going through into the underdog second round. And honestly, most of my exposure are with teams that are left. I have a ton of Kings, a ton of Warriors, a ton of Grizzlies, and a ton of Lakers. So that number might only increase. That'll be kind of fun to see if it does or not. But yeah, it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. I'm so excited. Playoffs has been great. It's been good for content. We love it. All right. I just wanted to show a little So Rare here. See what we're looking at. I had my rare contender lineup showed up a little bit here. So this one's in 357th. We got a rare tier 4 right now. Max Struess, after putting up a negative number, put up 34 for me. Gabe put up 44, which is nice. DeAndre Hunter, hopefully he gets up a little bit higher. And Keegan Murray scored like 26 So Rare points in the first half and then did dog shit the rest of the way. And then I thought my limited champion had somewhat of a shot. But honestly, if you didn't have Jimmy Butler in those big MVP type lineups, it ain't for you. I got 52 out of Sabonis, 64 out of Murray, 47 out of Bogey, 56 out of Fox. But doesn't matter. If you didn't have Jimmy Buckets, if you didn't have Devin Booker, those 2 guys went absolutely ham, right? So anyways, that's my So Rare. Actually, I haven't checked my baseball. I had a solid lineup there for a while. Yeah, we're in 142nd, a limited tier 3. We got, what did we get? We got 37 from Pena with he's done though. We got 1 game left from Jorge Mateo, who's got 27, 1 game for Santander. Devers with the final 23. That's a bummer. We got 18 out of Jensen, and we got 1 more game of Thiago Estrada. So hopefully he has a good game as well. But that's the action, baby. That's the action. A couple of things. Go look at the pin chat. I'll drop that link one more time. I would like to get this account up over 100 subs today. The Team Hold NBA, our second account over there. So fire that up, please. Would love to get you in there. Just a reminder, stay tuned for our playback stuff if you want to watch games alongside us. We've been having a lot of fun. You can also check out Boston Base. Boston Base has been doing some Celtic stuff too, so maybe he's going to fire that up. Make sure you join the Discord if you haven't done that. And like, what are we at for our own subscribers here on Team Hold? The Team Hold channel right now, 9,041 subs, baby. 959 left, baby. 959. Then we hit that 10K mark, and then I retire. FB Music says you got booted off Twitter for asking Lakers why it was acceptable for AD to assault. I feel like you didn't use those words if you got booted off Twitter. That would be my guess. My guess is you used other language, FB Music. Mike says he's 95th and rare all-star in MLB. There you go. We love that. Yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna have a fun short come out today on the TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitters about the 8 seed stuff that we talked about a little bit earlier. If you see that, if you see those shorts, because we're pumping them out, make sure you're liking them and commenting on all of them. Share that stuff. My success is your success. You know what I'm saying? You aren't retiring for 3 years, my friend. That is true. I also want to shout out Vegas too. I want to shout out Vegas a little bit. We are going to the Park MGM July 6th to the 10th. July 6th to the 10th. We'll be out there for NBA Summer League. We have a live show coming at you July 8th with a venue that the Alpha dropped on the venue on playback last night, but I'm not going to share it here yet. We got a lot of fun stuff that's coming at you for Vegas. If you were on the fence about it, shoot me a DM. We'll talk it through, but we're going to have a lot of fun. The 89 Cavs are going to be there. Shot Tank's going to be there. Team Hold's going to be there. We're staying at Park MGM. We're going to go see some Summer League games, maybe a UFC fight. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. But if that's it, I think we're going to call it there. Let's spin this giveaway. Last call, like the stream, subscribe, hashtag Bing Bong. This is fun, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time. A reminder, we'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. We'll have some Celtics Hawks coverage. Talk a little bit more about round 2. Our guy 90s fan is going to be here for a little NFL talk. We're going to talk the draft and give away an NFL All Day pack. NFL All Day, fresh off the news. That was fun, huh? Good times. But yeah, make sure you just do all the stuff. Help us with this engagement. When Vegas trip giveaway. Yeah, we are gonna. So this is not even a joke, Mike. I got to figure out the rest of the. The plan, and then we might have a little hotel giveaway, not like a full trip giveaway, but we might have a hotel giveaway. And Merker Mice, I have that DM bookmarked. Once the playoffs settle down a little bit, I am just up to my eyeballs in basketball and basketball content. But once that's done, I have that listed. We'll figure something out for the beginning of the football season, little off-season stuff. We'll hit it. We'll hit it up. No, thank you, Joel. Thank you, baby. All right, let's go. If you win this thing, shoot me a DM at Mike Zakarian on Twitter or in the Discord. Winner. Also, if you're a So Rare bro, I'll hit you with a So Rare card. Top Shot, hit you with a Top Shot. Mom. Winner. Chicken dinner. It's going to Chicken Frag. It's going to Chicken Frag. Shout out the Phoenix Suns, baby. Milo, I don't know what you got going on, dude, but cancel it, bro. I need you there. Milo's the real one. Are you going to do any mock NBA drafts? Yeah, we'll do a lot of weird stuff. We're going to do a little bit of everything. All right, everybody. I have to go stop talking and hydrate because we had too much caffeine today. We'll see you tomorrow. We out.